What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Isaiah Hartenstein made his Thunder debut today, kind of unexpectedly. I thought he was going to be out for like another month or so, but he was incredible in his return and immediately proved why he was worth so much money this year. Let's break down what he did because it was awesome on both ends. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I have to start with this play. Like, no words. No words. No fucking words. Like, both of the rooks, AJ Mitchell and Dylan Jones, I'd say they had pretty nice games, but they owe I Heart dinner for this one. Freaking no look. Dylan is cutting. No look behind his back to AJ Mitchell. He gets blocked. Hart goes behind his back again to Dylan, who just smoked the wide open layup, man. But Hart's passing and specifically his work as an outlet on the short roll immediately popped up as, especially with J-Dub, I think that's been an issue with him, just creating against pressure. His lineups without Shea have been not as good, but I think iHeart is really going to help that, right? Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams blitz J-Dub. They send two and force iHeart to be the one to create in space with a numbers advantage, right? It's 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3 versus we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the worst numbers ever, but iHeart has the playmaking vision and just the spatial awareness and all of that stuff to really make great decisions and carve up the defense in those short roll situations. He was so impactful here, and he can score as well. Like, it's crazy to have an actual big back with Hartenstein, given they've been playing J-Dub and Kenrich Williams as their fives and Caruso at times. But Hartenstein can dribble into this spot, just out-muscle Delano Banton is not a small human being, but he's definitely small in terms of stature when it comes to this 7-foot Isaiah Hartenstein who's strong. And this was another awesome moment just in that first quarter stretch where it's like the Thunder did not have a guy who was sealing players off and allowing for Caruso, who finally remembered how to score again. He had like a bunch of really good drives, a nice pass, hit his open threes. It's just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to cut the bit now and start scoring again. That would be really big for the Thunder if that was going to stick. But again, we see in the fourth quarter, they're pressuring J-Dub. This no Shea lineup once again. Pressuring J-Dub here, and Chet and J-Dub were so good as a pairing, and I think we're going to see that with iHeart as well. Two defenders, great pass right there. He seals off Banton and is able to score once again. The Blazers will pull Robert Williams out of the paint a lot because he is mobile and he can do that, but that does leave the backline exposed, and without Hartenstein, the Thunder would have no one to really exploit this, but with Hartenstein, right, OKC could just send him down and have him use his size to win in that way. And it was really great to see. And he isn't a perfect scorer. Like, he's just not that great when it comes to his, like, touch. He's got solid touch, but this is also just a really good job by Robert Williams. Like, this Blazers defense is good, as I've talked about before, but just doesn't, maybe he should have hit the pass to J-Dub there, but goes for the hook. Isn't able to put it in. His job obviously isn't a scorer, but scoring definitely helps him as a kind of outlet like it is going to here. Once again, we see the chemistry with J-Dub on this little push shot. He's a great screener, DHO guy. He did that a ton with the Knicks last year. J-Dub gets downhill, draws in Klingon and Danny. 4 guys, honestly. Look at this wall they're building next to J-Dub. But that leaves Hartenstein wide open. So he's just going to get a little push shot, and he's going to drop that one in. It's great synergy between two of their new best players, and it's great to see. More really good hub stuff. Shout out Donovan Klingon, who made a great deflection. But when Hartenstein is playing against guys who don't have like 8-foot wingspans or whatever, this is a really impressive play, right? Normally, you'd think this is not open, but Hartenstein is just going to thread it to this space because he knows that's where Lou Dort is going. And then Shaedon Sharp's turn this way, so he's going to have to, like, open his hips and chase where Dort can just go downhill. But none of this matters because Klingon just erases that. And I also wanted to include this play. I have to do a Klingon video at some point soon. He has been unbelievable so far, and iHeart was huge in the fourth quarter as well, helping the Thunder pull away. Great job running the floor in transition here. Because of that, they have to rotate really hard to take it away. He finds J-Dub wide open, who hit a bunch of big shots down the stretch to help the Thunder take over and eventually win this game. We see another great screen, and the offensive rebounding, such a huge thing. The Thunder were towards the bottom in offensive rebounding in the league so far, but Hartenstein immediately has made such a difference. He's got great energy and timing and explosiveness going for these putbacks, and his like strength and relentlessness and motor on the glass are all really impressive. And I think they're going to help raise the floor of this offense a little bit, which has been kind of low, especially when Shea is off the floor. But just having a guy who, like, when your possession doesn't go perfectly, right? Like AJ Mitchell gets to the rim, but he's a rookie, and Time Lord's does a great job contesting. Hartenstein's able to tap the ball out so they can reset the possession and try again. So I really do think he raises their margin for error, and especially on defense, where Hartenstein was included in my top 25 defenders in the league series. He was phenomenal last year, and he was phenomenal against Portland tonight. Just shutting off the rim as a shot blocker. Really, really hard to get over. Big, long, great instincts and timing on his jumps, and a great rebounder as well. Gets on the floor there. We talked about the rebounding as well, and his ability to be a cerebral defender and the same kind of like court awareness he shows on the passing side of things. This is a really nice set by the Blazers here. They have Banton, Iverson cutting across these two screens. He's going to catch the ball, and then they're going to set a little back screen here for Sharp to go catch a lob. But Hartenstein is going to sniff this out and just track back. And, like, that's quick reactions, turns to block that shot at the apex. And, like, Shaedon Sharpe is an incredible athlete. He is not an easy guy to just go up and deal with. And, of course, the big fella gets rewarded there running the rim. He's hyped up. He is just so fun to watch. And, oh, my goodness, the amount of grounds he covers. Look at it. Like, Banton is full sprinting past Cason Wallace, right? Like, he is in a full sprint with a running start. Hart has to turn his hips and open this way to meet Banton at the spot, and like, oh my goodness. And he is so good at like getting close to being postered but not getting postered, where it's like you can go frame by frame here at the end, and that is inches away. And just getting his hand in there and being a deterrent is half the battle when you're defending the rim. And he's going to come back and not block Denny here, unfortunately. But it was a valiant effort on the second kind of rim protection play there. You can see, sometimes he's not going to be able to get every single block in the world, but such a beast on the interior. Like, even when he's not getting rebounds, he's always going to be fighting for them. His hands are really active. He and everyone else on this OKC team have crazy active hands and are just swiping all of the time, trying to mess stuff up. Here is another awesome rim rotation where Scoot Henderson is able to get downhill, but Hartenstein, and this is not great spacing, with Williams and then with Williams in the dunker spot. Scoot probably shouldn't have gone right here with Williams sinking to the dunker spot, but Hartenstein, great verticality, stays up and down. Great job right there, and the Thunder get back out on offense. Look at the ground coverage again. Hartenstein's going to start this possession hedging out on Denny, and then he has to recover all the way back to Robert Williams. And normally the ball moves way faster. Look at Denny's eyes. He's looking at Robert Williams, but iHeart is going to move just as fast as the ball right here. And obviously this is where it helps to have a guy like J-Dub. It's a real luxury when you have a wing, a guy who's 6'5" in socks, basically, be your legit interior defender. And that obviously is going to be a huge help for iHeart in recovering and covering space. And these two, I think, on both ends of the floor just synergize so perfectly. And again, we see Hartenstein start this play out on the perimeter and end it grabbing a rebound. We saw a lot of this. His defensive versatility is going to be really key. Hedging out to try to, one, get the ball. And when he can't get the ball, he's just going to kind of jut out this ways toward the sideline so Jeremy can't round the corner. But works perfectly, gets a hand on the ball. Defense ended up getting a stop. Shout out J-Dub once again for another fantastic rotation. Just getting up there, his vertical explosion, his length, all that good stuff. He's incredible. We already did a video on him. iHeart again is gonna contest the rim and ends up creating a steal for his team. They go the other way. Caruso's gonna score in transition. Shout out Alex Caruso once again for the work that he was able to do. It's kind of hard to really criticize what Hart did on defense today. He was not making mistakes really at all, and he was a beast. This is one of the one plays I noticed where it seems like he miscommunicated with Jang and wasn't particularly happy. This is, early offense. It's kind of tough. They're trying to switch Cason out onto the perimeter. Kaysen goes to Denny. Jang probably supposed to go here to Sharp, and Sharp, like, Jang tries to push him out, and he's like, no, I'm guarding the rim. I don't know. But again, it's, like, not really all on Hartenstein. This is his first game with new teammates, and I think it's normal that he's trying to acclimate. And, like, yeah, he's going to get scored over by nuclear athletes like Shaden Sharp at times, because he's not the most, explosive vertically. He's an amazing rim protector, but he's not the level of like a Chet, right, or a Mobley or a Wemby or whatever. He's just not that kind of dominant defending the rim, and that's okay, right? When you have Chet back, that's going to be fine. And even when you don't have Chet back, Ihart is he's a better starting center than a lot of teams in the league right now have. Like, it is a luxury that OKC has this guy. And even though, it wasn't a huge win over the Blazers, classic this year Thunder fashion, just like we're sleepwalking through 3 quarters and flipped the switch and ended up winning by 20 or whatever, or 10 or 20. But Hartenstein, I think he's so good because he's like a floor and a ceiling raiser. I think for this specific Thunder team, more than most, he's a floor raiser just because of how much they need his rebounding and how much his interior defense is going to help. But, like, being a guy who can make the extra passes, who can be another, like, lineup, matchup kind of luxury option in the playoffs, hopefully when everyone's healthy. Like, you can scheme up crazy shit with him and Chet and have them kind of staggered so you always have a really impressive presence at the rim. Like, they can pretty much have like an elite high-level rim protector on the floor whenever they want, and maybe 2 or maybe 3. Like, this OKC defense is so absurd, unbelievable. It's amazing, and Hartenstein, really promising debut. I can't wait to keep watching him hoop.